If you're over 60 and frustrated that weight loss feels harder every year, this video is for you. January is when millions of people start dieting, and it's also when most weight loss plans fail, especially for older adults. And here's the truth no one tells you. If weight loss after 60 feels impossible, it's not because you lack willpower. It's because most weight loss advice was designed for younger bodies, not aging metabolisms. And the fact is that by 60, all of us have tried and failed many diets, and then comes January 1st. Every new year, the same promises resurface. Lose the weight, eat less, try harder, and for a few weeks, motivation carries you forward. But soon, the restrictive rules set in. The food feels bland, meals stop being enjoyable, and eating, something that should bring comfort and connection, starts to feel like work. January begins with hope, and by February, many people feel discouraged and right back where they started. The problem isn't you. The problem is the method. Most diets fail after 60 because they rely on restriction instead of supporting how the body actually changes with age. Today, I want to explain why dieting stops working later in life, and more importantly, what actually does work for healthy, sustainable weight loss after 60. For decades, we've been taught that weight loss means fighting our bodies, cut calories aggressively, eliminate entire food groups, push through hunger, ignore fatigue, but research consistently shows that restrictive dieting leads to weight regain, and that risk increases as we age. What worked in your 30s or 40s often backfires in your 60s and beyond. And let's be honest about how dieting feels at this stage of life. It's the small, unsatisfying meal that still leaves you hungry. It's cooking a separate diet dinner while everyone else eats normally. It's declining social invitations because the food doesn't fit rigid rules. Over time, that isolation takes a toll, not just emotionally, but physically. Nutrition for adults over 60 is not just about calories, it's about connection. Eating alone becomes more common as we age, and studies show that people who eat alone are less likely to prepare balanced meals. Convenience replaces nourishment, appetite quality declines, and loneliness itself becomes a risk factor for poor health outcomes, including depression, inflammation, and reduced motivation to care for oneself. At the same time, the body is actively resisting crash diets. After 60, muscle loss accelerates in a process called sarcopenia. Muscle is not just about strength, it's about metabolically active tissue. It helps regulate blood sugar, supports balance, and keeps metabolism functioning. When calories are cut too aggressively, the body doesn't just burn fat, it burns muscle. And how many times do we need to hear that losing muscle is the kiss of death? That muscle loss makes future weight loss harder, slows metabolism even more, and increases the risk of falls and frailty. Rapid weight loss can also worsen nutrient deficiencies, weaken bones, and negatively impact immune health. This is why weight loss for seniors must look very different than weight loss advice aimed at younger adults. So if dieting feels harder now, that's not failure, that's biology. And once you understand that, everything changes. The first shift is surprisingly simple, yet incredibly powerful. Stop eating alone whenever possible. Social eating plays a major role in both physical and mental health for older adults. Research shows that people who regularly share meals have better dietary quality, improved mood, and a higher overall quality of life. When meals are shared, people tend to eat more balanced foods. There's more structure, more intention. Even the act of conversation during meals reduces stress hormones that interfere with metabolism and digestion. Sharing food reinforces routine and creates something to look forward to, both of which matter deeply for long-term behavior change. This doesn't require big changes or constant social events. It can be as simple as scheduling one weekly lunch with a friend or neighbor, joining a community meal program, inviting someone over for soup, sharing a virtual dinner with family if they live far away, or cooking with someone instead of cooking just for yourself. When eating becomes social again, dieting stops feeling lonely and starts feeling human. The second shift is about abundance instead of restriction. Instead of asking what you need to cut out, ask what you can add to make each meal more nourishing. Two nutrients matter most for healthy weight loss after 60: protein and fiber. Protein becomes increasingly important with age. Older adults often need more protein than younger people to maintain muscle mass and strength. Protein helps preserve lean tissue, supports metabolism, stabilizes blood sugar, and keeps you feeling full longer. Without enough protein, weight loss often leads to muscle loss instead of fat loss. Good protein sources include fish, poultry, eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, beans, lentils, nuts, and seeds. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Including protein at every meal sends your body the message that it's safe, nourished, and supported. Fiber is equally important, yet most adults fall far short of recommended intake. Fiber supports digestion, reduces constipation, improves blood sugar control, lowers cholesterol, and supports heart health. Fiber also feeds beneficial gut bacteria, which plays a role in inflammation and metabolic health, both key factors in weight regulation after 60. In everyday life, this might mean eggs on whole grain toast instead of toast alone, oatmeal with berries and nut butter instead of plain oatmeal, bean-based soups, protein-rich sandwiches, or filling half your dinner plate with vegetables. When protein and fiber come first, ultra-processed foods naturally crowd out without feeling forbidden. The third and final shift is mindset, and it's what makes everything sustainable. Let go of perfection and focus on consistency. One of the biggest reasons diets fail after 60 is the all or nothing mentality. One indulgence leads to guilt, guilt leads to quitting, and quitting reinforces the belief that nothing works. Instead, aim for steady, realistic progress. Gentle self-monitoring can help. A weekly weigh-in at the same time each week provides information, not judgment. Research shows that simple, consistent check-ins support long-term weight maintenance. The goal is awareness, not punishment. Pair that awareness with movement you enjoy. You don't need intense workouts or exhausting routines. Walking, gardening, swimming, light strength training, or dancing all support muscle, circulation, balance, and metabolism. The best exercise is the one you'll actually do consistently. An 80-20 approach works especially well for older adults. Eat nourishing foods most of the time and allow room for enjoyment without guilt. This flexibility protects mental health, supports social connection, and prevents the burnout that causes most diets to fail. So, let's bring it all together. Weight loss after 60 works best when you stop dieting alone, focus on adding protein and fiber, and replace perfection with consistency. This approach respects your biology instead of fighting it. It protects muscle, supports metabolism, and prioritizes quality of life. This isn't about suffering through another January diet. It's about building habits that support your health, energy, and independence for years to come. And it's never too late to start doing that. If you've struggled with diets in the past, you're not alone. Share your experience in the comments. Your story may help someone else feel seen and encouraged. And if you want more science-based guidance on healthy weight loss and aging well, subscribe and turn on notifications. And remember, this content is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your diet, exercise, or health routine.